ليلة من الليال لست أدري ما تراني ظلمة تمورني يا رب. الأرض ضاقت والسماء وقلبي ما رفض ضياء والدمع بات يبكي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي. عصيت والذنب كبير وإني في حزني يسير مقيد بذنبي يا رب. فهل يستحق يا إلهي أفوى مجرما مقر بالذنوب يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي يا إلهي. أنت الذي خلقتني رحمتني ورزقتني دوما يا ربي قد كنت معي.
Assalamu alaikum. So we're here at the Gardens of Peace, and this is a beautifully restored area in Woking that's very near to the Shah Jahan Mosque. It was originally used to house, I think, 27 soldiers who were interred here. The place fell into disrepair, and it was quite sad. The bodies were actually removed, but in 2011 there was a plan to restore this beautiful location, and as you can see, it's been wonderfully restored. And if we can just get Omar Sheikh over, who's the head of the Colourful Heritage Project. Hello, sir. Here you are.
Dr. Nadeem, how are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. And we've had a really moving ceremony this morning. How do you feel about it?
It's such an important story that needs to be told. Nearly 3 million soldiers, a third of which were Muslim, and to have the daughter of the last person who was buried here, Safina Chizimbeli, saying some words was really, really powerful. You know, it's raining, it's tipping it down.
Yeah.
And when we were here in July, it was lovely weather, but then it makes you realise war, it's not just a sad and commemorative event, but for people on the front line in war, it's very harsh. And these conditions are nothing, you know, when you're in the trenches and you have bad weather and so on. So it's absolutely nothing in a way for them. It's part and parcel of what it's like to be on the front line. So in a way, it hits home the harsher realities of war as well.
They said something very interesting at the end, that these soldiers gave their today so that we could have our tomorrow.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's the story of sacrifice for everyone through the generations, and the same sacrifice parents give today for their children. Maybe not the ultimate sacrifice in life, but in so many things people sacrifice so that future generations can benefit.
Omar, could you take us through this plaque that's here at the front?
Yeah, sure. So these are the soldiers who were buried here. So they're all predominantly from World War I, with the last one on the far right, Yusuf Ali, being from World War II. All of these soldiers from across then India, now present-day Pakistan, northwest frontier Pakhtun region, Punjab region, and other parts as well. They've now been interned and are buried in Brookwood Cemetery, which is just a few miles from here, which is the military cemetery. What's fascinating at that cemetery, you also have the graves of some of the early Muslim pioneers. So the Quran translation we all read as kids, Abdullah Yusuf Ali, he's buried there.
Absolutely.
Eaton's buried there. Muhammad Marjuk Pickthall is buried there. and
I mean,
others.
some really interesting names. I see Bostan, which is a very old kind of Punjabi name. Khan Muhammad from the 108th Infantry. Sikandar Khan from the 82nd Punjabis. And then you've got Sheikh Abdul Wahab, 29th Lancers, the Deccan Horse.
Yeah. No, it's they're all real people,
Real
young
people.
people.
You've got Pathan names like Jan Muhammad.
Mirza Iqbal Ali Beg, Khwaja Deen, Karam Khan, Asghar Ali. Phenomenal sacrifice. If you think about it, where they've come from one country to go and fight for and defend another country, really.
Held in honour of Muslim servicemen who lost their lives while serving in the First and Second World Wars, one of whom was my father. He was the last serviceman to be buried at this site, which was then the Woking Muslim Military Burial Ground, established in 1915. The ground was selected for its proximity to the Shah Jahan Mosque, the first purpose-built mosque erected in Britain. The burial ground held just 27 servicemen out of the many thousands of Muslim personnel who died during the two world wars. My father, Yusuf Muhammad Ali, a Bengali, came to England in the early 1920s. My parents met and married in London, where I was born. I was 3 years old when he left to join the Royal Air Force at the start of the Second World War, and 11 years old when he died in the Royal Air Force Squadron Military Hospital on the 12th of May, 1947. His death occurred just a few months before undivided India achieved independence, a cause dear to his heart. My mother, Ethel Emma Wallace, at the age of 37, was left a war widow with 4 children to support. She regularly brought us here to visit my father's grave. We would go first to the mosque to pay our respects and to collect the key. We used to walk around the graves, wondering about the lives of the other men buried alongside my father. This continued for years. I left England in 1968 to go to Africa, where under contract with the British Crown agents, I took up a post in a newly independent Zambia. Shortly afterwards, my mother informed me that the graves had been desecrated. She was extremely upset, and she took up the matter with the Commonwealth War Graves Commission. The War Graves Commission removed the bodies of these fallen servicemen, and they were reburied in the Brookwood Military Cemetery. This site then lay desolate for decades, but fortunately, in 2011, a decision was made to transform the burial ground into this tranquil peace garden, a fitting venue for this important service of commemoration. Statistics given this year by the Commonwealth War Graves Commission for the First and Second World Wars show a combined total for the contribution of the subcontinent of India in these two conflicts of over 3.8 million personnel, of which a third were Muslims. The Muslim servicemen to whom we are now paying tribute are of this number. They died in their thousands in the service of Britain, then the colonial power. They were born in a different place, centuries past. Their lives ended prematurely by wars, and it is right that we, and I'm sure generations to come, remember and honor their sacrifice. This service of commemoration, held here today at this historic site, is appropriate and welcome. Thank you.
Of how they travelled thousands of miles to the mud and the horror of Flanders. We think of their imams leading prayers in the midst of the battle. And as Forgotten Heroes research has shown us, we think of how imams, priests, rabbis learnt each other's burial ceremonies and prayers to make sure that the dead of all faiths were decently laid to rest on the battlefield. Just as we recall the Muslim soldiers from the Great War who were once buried here, and whom we remember when we look at the Himalayan birch trees around us and the memorial stone that bears their name, and those who came after, such as the Muslim soldiers of the 8th Army holding Ruwaisak Bridge at the Battle of El Alamein almost exactly 76 years ago, that we will never forget what our Muslim comrades did for us. It's wonderfully serene in its aspect. Its location is also an appropriate one, only a short distance from the UK's very first purpose-built mosque. And in 1915, this place became the first one in Britain where Muslim soldiers could be buried in accordance with their religious rites.
لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله محمد رسول الله. He is the blessed and chosen one, for he is the true love of mine, a face that shone like the full moon. Muhammad Rasulullah. No eye has seen such beauty, for he is the